for better or for worse, in sickness and in health. Our guests tonight bring out the true meaning of those vows. So without further ado, let's begin. Welcome to Unscripted from Radisson Blu in Arboretum.
It has been long for me in this world of sickness. Since 2015, I have been in hospital on and off. Many are the times that I lost hope, but I thank God that I have a supportive wife and children who have made me regain my hope.
Hi, welcome to the show. Thank you as always for making time for us. It's time to get started. We have two special guests here with us today. Thank you for coming to Unscripted. You look lovely.
Thank you.
Ma'am. So before we get into the conversation, let's introduce ourselves. You can tell people who you are and why you're here today.
I'm Paul Mungai Mbugua.
Yeah.
Anne is my beloved wife.
Yeah.
I'm a father of 5.
Wow.
4 biological,
Okay.
adopted 1.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Paul and Anne, for coming on the show to share your story with us. And it's not an easy one, so we appreciate it. Asante sana. Like you said, you're here to encourage someone and give someone hope. Asante. So let's start with where this journey began, the journey with your health. It's been 6 years, you corrected me, not 5,
Yes.
when things changed. Take us back to that moment. What happened?
It's something that just happened. It was on 2015. I've been in transport industry for a long time. I've not been sick.
Yeah.
So just developed like any other sickness. I started having fever. I started getting tired. So when after a while, in 2014, that's when I realized that it's like I'm overworking myself, not knowing that there was something growing in me. So I went to the hospital. I was diagnosed with many diseases like pneumonia. I would take the medicine for pneumonia. I'll not get healed. The ulcers, the kids. I did the kids like for 2 kids. So I think they missed the thing from the word go. And that's how I developed complications. To an extent that I started swelling my legs. And after some times, the swelling would go. So it went retro by retro. It was not painful, you know, so I would manage with painkillers.
But you were not treating the issue
I'm not
itself.
treating the issue, and I still got back to job. So I worked till 2015, when now I started swelling on my face. I would sleep well, I'd wake up swollen. So after like 2 hours, then the swelling goes. So most of the guys were enjoying me, like, hey boss, yesterday it's like you do dance, you know, and it's on a Monday. So to me, I didn't see myself swelling. Other guys thought that they used to enjoy me. Boss, umekuwa mdosi, umeanza kunona. No.
But you were not noticing the difference.
I was not noticing. I was not seeing myself till when my wife told me, boss, you know you have swollen. And that's when I took it to another level, and I was like, what? I checked myself on the mirror, and I would see, oh, really I had swollen. Yeah. But many people thought that I'm getting fatter. So it reached a time I didn't take it because it was coming and going. I didn't take it serious.
So you didn't see a doctor?
I had visited the many hospitals, and they were seeing nothing, you know. So I decided, maybe it's something that will just go.
No, are you in pain anywhere?
Not at all.
Just swelling?
Just swelling. Till to a time that I started swelling my tummy started swelling. That's when I realized things are not going well, because that swelling will not go away. And it's like I would feel something bouncing in my stomach, and it was painful. So that's when I was taken back to the hospital. The same medics who had looked for me, who had checked me, I would tell them, whatever they are diagnosing me, I think they are mistaken, because my pain is developing from here. So that's when one of the doctors told me, the only thing now we can do is you do an endoscopy. That's an image that you take, and a camera that goes through the mouth, and it takes the images. That's when they realized, no, when I was told that, there are not many facilities that offer that service. So it was Kenyatta and Madanta. And Kenyatta, by then, the machine had broken out. So I was advised to go to Madanta. The moment they did the image, they find that my heart had swollen. The right side of my heart had swollen. And from there, they took me to Kenyatta. That's when they diagnosed me with cal pulmonale, that I had a lung failure, which contributed to me having a heart failure. So I started now, from 2015, I remained in the hospital for 3 years without going home. Then my journey changed. My life changed.
And how was it seeing your husband? Akosawa one moment, yes, there was a swelling, then he goes to hospital and he's told what's wrong and doesn't come home.
Okay, actually, you see, when it started, to me it was like it's a normal sickness. So it didn't hit me that it can be a wrong journey. So we started it very well, like how you can just be sick today, you're taken to hospital. So when he got the admission at Kenyatta, 2 to 3 days they were already trying to drain the fluid. And I saw, there are so many people here in the ward. And it looked like, yeah, he'd be treated and be home, and that's all. But that didn't happen. So he was treated for a while. It took, yeah. And now you see, it's like, even that day, I think the previous day he's still struggling to go to work. So it was not like he was that sick to me now. But now when he got the admission, week 1, week 2, week 3, and now you are told here now, this person is now a medic, he needs to go to a different ward. Now I started, okay. And now we could not now trace what had happened.
How is that for you?
Because now it came like, you see now everybody was like, yeah, you see like now everybody was like, this person is sick. They were all over. So if I thought, you see the way that somebody has a problem and everybody is here consoling you, telling you, to be well and all that. Yeah. So to me it was like, yeah, you'll be well.
So at what point did it hit you?
Now it went 3 months, 4 months. Back home 3 days, back to hospital again. You see, by then now we could at least manage here and there. So when our now finances drained, now it started hitting, it's another level now. We moved on, now it started being like, even fair to go and see him, now it's another thing. Now it started hitting, But I'm this person who trusts in God. So even in me, by then, I was still seeing, this is just coming, it's just a wind. It's passing.
You were still encouraged and hopeful.
Yeah. Wow. So even the sharing, I was telling people, yesterday was not that bad. So today will be better. So I kept on seeing this better day coming. And
so Paul, for you, how was that, Paul, with a wife she remained hopeful and encouraging. Did that help you?
Yes, it did, but
How was it like for you?
it was very hard for me because the medication that I was administered to, the hospital don't provide. So I was to buy for myself. So at the first few months, I was very happy and convinced because I believed I had a family, a bigger family and friends that they'll come through and the support and I'll be well.
What was
But
the reality?
it went to the contrary. They bought for me for the first month, the second month, and because the medicine was expensive, they moved away. Yeah? So we found ourselves in a situation where my wife would come. I don't have, she doesn't have money. She's asking me to call somebody, you know, those friends I thought they were my good friends, and my family members. We used to call them. They used to snob us. And
How was it for you dealing with
I
that?
despaired. Yeah. Then I started wishing her well. Yes. Because I would see people in the world die. I was in a small hell.
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Like I said, Paul and Anne, thank you for just sharing with us today. I know it's not an easy conversation. Before the break, you mentioned you felt like you were in a small hell. It was difficult. It was one thing after the other. How are you coping? How have you been coping, Paul?
It's by the grace of God and the love that I've been shown by my family. One, there before, like 4 years ago, it was very bad because my kids could not see me. They would not visit the hospital. They would not be around to get in. They're asking their mom,
Where's Dad?
where's Dad? To an extent, I don't know where they got some saying that Kwani Dad went to heaven. I don't know who told them. So, to me, it was very painful because I affected their life. Like there is one of my my kid. She's in grade 2. She used not to urinate, but since then, she would not even know when she would urinate on herself. To date, you know. So when I read their mind, I would talk to them through email. They would ask me they would see the machines, maybe in HDU. They will hear the sound of the machines. I would explain, and they would ask me, when are you coming home? So it was a hard question because I believe I should not lie to my kids. But I was never sure when I'm going home. I was never sure of tomorrow. I would see my friends come and die. Actually, that's the thing that traumatized me.
That was the hardest to deal with.
The hardest thing, I'm in a ward and everybody goes. So I'm like, tomorrow it's me. Yeah.
So how have you parented differently with this reality?
I thank my wife because I think she has some qualities I don't have. Because she has that big touch with them. When they are down, she would explain, she would break everything. Now you should realize that he is sick. If we need to see him tomorrow, we have to give him space. So they will understand, in fact, she have made my disease to be our disease. It's for us all in the family. When I'm in pain, they are in pain. Furthermore, God did me a favor. I got oxygen machine, which they retained me mostly in the hospital. Because apart from being disorganized and some few things, I believed that if my wife could be trained, she can handle me at home. And when I see my kids, I would have peace. Even I claimed to the hospital that when I see my kids, I'm healed.
You feel better, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I think that have really worked for me.
Okay. How did this period affect you, even work-related? Because I'm sure you'd have to take...
Yes, no, that one affected me.
Tell me.
Because at some point I felt, you see, this person who know that all happens because for the will of God. I know it reached a point that I'm here, yes. These kids need me, he needs me, and I need a job. Because if I don't work, and that's where their school fees come from, it also affects their life.
So what did you have to do, or what have you had to do?
So there's like a 2 week that I cannot explain what happened to me.
Why? What happened?
I was just there. I would wake up in the morning, see how I can support him, report to work. Don't ask me what I've done the whole day, because I'll go back home. Like I work just a very short distance. I would be there. I feel no, this did not work. I would go back, back to work like that, and it wasn't that easy for me. But it happened like one of my friends. She's a nurse.
Okay.
She just felt something was wrong about me. And I don't know, it had some bitterness in me that I did not want anybody to ask me how situation is at home.
You need to hide.
And then at home I also felt nobody should ask me the situation at my work. So I was just there.
I see. When was the toughest period for you? There's a time you had to hawk
This
things
March.
on. Yeah.
You see, the other time, the issue was finances. Get. But now when we were sharing like with him, he was there to support me. Get. You'd tell me, it didn't work out. You know, you'd give me that support. But now this year March, why I'm talking about it is because he was in pain.
So that...
And then if this pain is coming, I don't know whether it has affected his mind. He was like, you'd talk about this, he's answering this. You talk about this, he's answering this. Then it also, the pain also overtook him. So you see now, at home, where at least I've been going and sharing with him, and he tells me, okay, this, you see, we were sharing all through, and I think
So
through the way we have been sharing it, it has been easy, even when we don't have.
Yeah, because you had to do a lot to raise money for medication and food.
You see, when, back in 2018, that's when his bills became huge to the sense that I could not even be able to get a loan. They became huge that time.
What did you
And
do? What did you have to do?
now what I was doing was to look for meals. It was also even not actually much to do with his medication, because now I had a loan all around me. I had a loan from my circle, from my bank. I had loans all over.
I understand, yeah.
And I remember well, that's the year that I was blacklisted because of 8,000. So, yes, that's how things were bad. And so now I had to think, because you see, I cannot watch the children go sleep hungry.
Of course.
So we started with, I can be making chapatis in the morning,
Okay.
sell them, so that at least I'll get some coins to take me to Kenyatta, because he's already in the ward. And then at least out of that chapati, there will be a meal. It may be not a balanced meal, but at least the kids could get ugali and sukuma wiki. Also, yeah, at least. So I started hawking. I did all manners of businesses that somebody can do. But this was just because I could not watch and see the children go hungry.
It's your family.
And so chapatis worked. I could get like a 200, I like 300. You see now that 200, it's now not for his medication.
It's for food.
It's for food.
Basically.
Basically, yes. And I can say somehow the Lord have been so faithful. So, but the Lord have been very faithful.
Did you have a support system, both of you, during this period?
Okay, in the beginning, we had. Because as I was trying to tell you, it looked like it's something that's happening today, tomorrow it should be over.
Yeah,
So people came up, our relatives who were there for us. And when we could not raise for the medication, we did our first Harambee. We did the second Harambee. We did the third Harambee. But then we were doing the third Harambee.
It was too much.
It was now already too much. And you see, even as me, as a person, to have carried your burden for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. You see, I'm a person and I also have... So we came with him and we discussed about it. He said, no, we are not going to bother people. It's true, we are in need.
Yeah.
Very true. So but now, you see, when the first time, before there's a medication he was introduced to, and even the doctor had to make him aware that it will be expensive, and the doctor had advised him, you can just call your family friends. But then we thought it's for a while, like 3 months, and then what the medication was supposed to do will have healed him.
But it didn't.
But that was not the case. So we did the first Harambee, raised money that could not cater for even 2 months medication. But still, you see, we are moving, yeah? And we are, in our minds, I think we are also thinking, it's coming to an end.
Many people are not exposed to this kind of life. Somebody,
They're not aware, yeah.
Some have never seen such a person, somebody breathing through a machine. So people stare at you, and you feel down. It's like, what? What's so funny?
What's been the strangest thing have people walked up to you and asked you questions?
Even walking away, even landing, there was a time, okay, I have been several facilities and big facilities, because I can't just walk into a small hospital.
Yes, of course.
I need to go where I'll get
The treatment you need.
consultants, those who understand. Otherwise, I can be treated the wrong way. So, you are taken to the hospital. Maybe you are in a coma, because like now, if I miss my oxygen, definitely I'll go in a coma. The nurse there sees the machine and he walks away.
Why?
I've been even taken to COVID isolation center.
Oh, immediately they think that.
Yes, I'm being dropped to the emergency, the casualty. Then we are pleading for the piped oxygen, because most of the facilities have. Instead of them giving me that first aid, I'm taken to the isolation center. And when I'm there, I'm realizing, what? Yeah?
I'm sorry. So there are many things to unpack there. The healthcare system.
Many. Others, they see like, these are gone case. I've heard them. You know, even when you're in a coma, you hear. It's only that you don't talk. So when you meet somebody in a sick bed,
be aware. Be
aware that
person
is still alive, can listen. It's only that he or she cannot express herself or himself. So whatever you say around, that person gets.
So even counseling, have you been able to do any? Both of you, even the children? Or that's an extra cost now?
Yeah, but thank God, one of her friends, the nurse, realized that she was going down. Yeah, because you know, when like for instance, like at night I don't sleep. Maybe I'm in pain, so I will not sleep. So she will not even sleep too. She will keep watching on me. So it was a big burden on her shoulders
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. When I look at you and hear your story, Anne and Paul, the vows when you get married, in sickness and in health, for better and for worse, you guys really bring out what that is supposed to look like and what it means. What can you advise or tell couples at home? 14 years married? That's a lot. And you're sticking to your vows. What can you tell them at home? Advice on marriage.
One, I would say, when you're getting married, be sure.
Be sure. That's good.
First of all, you be sure.
Yeah.
Are you really for marriage or not? And people just take these vows lightly. Lightly. But are you really sure that you can stand with that person? For us, she have proved me wrong. Yes.
I think so. You're very blessed, Paul.
Yeah.
What can you tell her today, actually?
She is one person. I don't know. She is the best. She's an angel to me. That person who can wash you when you are not able. She have done a lot for me and my family. So I pray to God, I pray her to God that she will grow in that spirit. And she is one of the, yes, she is an image of God.
Amen. That's powerful. How do you feel hearing that, Anne? Oh, look at you blushing. That's beautiful.
I know that it's not easy, but it has just been the grace of God.
Do you attribute your faith and your walk in God?
Yes, I do.
Yes, for who you are.
Because actually, as a human, I'm weak.
That's true. We all are.
And to overcome such, because you see, I'm not in my circle alone. I'm surrounded with people, and everybody has a feeling and all that. But I looked at it, what if it were me? What would I have wished for? And so all through I've never thought of otherwise. And I looked at it like, yeah, this marriage is supposed to be until. And so all through I've not had it as an issue of marriage. I've always had it as our issue. It has been, I've always looked at it as, yes. And I think God has also been very faithful and has enabled me, because every time I feel like I'm going down, and I look for my relevance from God, I've always found the reason why I should have joy in my life. Actually, I'm one person that it's only a basis. If you see me having a face that's not smiling,
I was going to say that you have a glow throughout, even through this.
That's not me. And I usually tell people it's the grace of God. And I'm a witness of salvation. And so I'm one person who I've always said, who I've always had this feeling from inside that there's a future for me and it's brighter.
You're the true Proverbs 31 woman.
Yeah.
Are there moments where, because we're human, you said we're weak,
Yes.
where you felt like, I can't do this anymore? Did you have such moments?
It has not happened.
Wow. God bless you. Have a
Actually,
great
it's
woman,
only when
Paul.
I hear people say it that okay, there's such an opportunity. You see, you'll get somebody to tell, mimi ningekuwa nilienda kitambo.
I'm sure you've gotten comments like that.
I have gotten so many comments of such, but I'm like, to where?
Good.
You see, going is okay, but you have to be sure, where are you going?
That's true.
And I remember in our good times, when we are sharing and all that,
Yeah.
we have always promised each other that we'll be there for each other.
Good.
And there's something that we shared when we were early married, that we would wish to see our children
Yeah.
just treasuring our lives. So I did not see that, I did not allow that to go at all, even to today.
Good.
Even despite the bills and all that we are not able to cater, I still know and I still trust God.
Amen.
That a day is coming, that he will not need those medication, or if he will need them, he will have brought
God will
a better,
provide.
wider ways of finances. So if we put our trust in God, I think things works, because I think what I've worked much in around almost every angle of my life, it has just been the faith and the trust in God. Because me, I'm one person who tells people God answers prayer.
Equally. Amen.
I'm one person who tells people it's not how much you have. That's not what's going to give you joy. Because even now, if you come to our home, we have learned to celebrate each other. So like now, if my children come here, they all celebrate their daddy because he's there. And so even if it's the meal is small or whatever, you know, we are celebrating it together. And it has taken to their mind.
You're both setting a great example for your children.
And
well done.
So it's not what others are having, it's what they're having. So it has kept us going. And
Through it all,
yes.
Like you mentioned, the bills.
Yes.
One health crisis after another.
Yes.
What are you both most thankful for?
That particular hour. We are alive today. We are thankful for it.
Amen.
And you see, like what he's trying to say, there are times I would visit him in hospital. Yesterday I left somebody sleeping there. And there are those words that when you become like, they just say, angels came, wakamchukua. So that one went, alikufa, alikufa, alikufa. So when we sat down, there's a time even him was feeling like, hata yeye atakufa. I asked him, no, haukufi, because the person who gives us life, he doesn't ask permission to take it. To mean, we need to celebrate it now, because we have been given. Because there are people also who are healthy and they have died. So even in that time that he has been sick, you know, there are times he doesn't like me mentioning it. That 2018, there's a time he had, even you could not tell he's there. Even the body, everything was, you get.
Did you give up, Paul?
No.
Did you give up? Or did you have moments where you felt?
Many times, not once. Many times. That 2018, even last year.
Especially now. Like
Many other times. It's only that, let me say from mid last year, I have come to realize myself. She have talked to me a lot. I've decided not to be jealous because I realized that I'm jealous because
of what?
I'm loving myself so much. I'm feeling like everybody is against me. So I realized I have other people who need me. My kids need me. My wife needs me. So I decided to share my life with them. So I decided to be happy. Yeah? Okay. So that I can make their life complete. There was a time I told her that I even wished her, well, if I die and she feels like she can get married, she's gonna get married. She cried. We are in a hospital bed. She told me, unaenda uniache na nani? So I realized like, and I was seeing like she's a fool because unategemea nani sasa? You see, you know, you reach
a point where you feel like you have nothing more to give.
Yeah.
I understand.
There is no tomorrow. most of the guys, those I could see, like they would walk away from walk up from the bed and move home. They're the ones who are dying.
So what would encourage you to live on?
Yes.
What encourages you every morning, Paul,
Yeah.
to get up and fight?
It's my kids, because I would not wish to see to leave my kids without their dad. So I'll do anything, all it takes to support them, to make their life comfortable, because like I said, I have 4 girls, and if I'm the weak vessel in the house as a man, what do you expect of them? So I need to start firm and hard. So even when I don't have medicine, I usually tell them, God knows, it's not that I'm refusing to take medicine. We don't have. Yeah? If the consequences come, I bear with them. Like now, so you can see, I'm on a wheelchair. Whoever bought me the wheelchair was a relative of somebody I was with him at Kenyatta, and the cousin died. So when they saw my wife, when they saw me riding on my wife's back, it pained them, and they bought me a wheelchair. So I've come to realize there are those people who think of you good. Why should you think of you bad? And all we need is love.
Oh, that's true.
So I decided not to be selfish, to be loved only. I should love others.
Very good.
Yeah.
As we finish, actually, Paul gave a very wonderful tribute to you, Anne. What special message can you share with him today?
Yeah, I would like him to know that we really need him, we love him, and he's the head. And hence, he should always be strong, as he has always been, and we are there for him. Even if we go down, it's just because of what's happening around us. But deeper in our hearts, we love him. Like I love him myself. Yeah, I would like to tell him that I love him very much. And that you are the head of our family. And so God has placed you there with a purpose. And that purpose has to come to pass, irrespective of whatever is happening. It will come to pass. Yes.
Thank you, Paul and Anne. Asante sana. Yeah, you've encouraged us and inspired us. Thank you for sharing your story. And to those at home, I hope this has been, everything. Thank you for watching. You can reach them if you want to look for them. Please do reach out to us. And like Paul has said, and I keep emphasizing, tupendane tafadhali. Let's love each other. Love yourself and love others and love God. Until next week, take care. God bless. Special thanks to Radisson for hosting us. Do stay safe. Bye.